for you.
Now at 11, a very busy road construction season is picking up steam this weekend, and drivers are definitely feeling the impact. 2 separate lawnmower accidents, one deadly, the other seriously injuring a child. Tonight, some reminders to keep you on a safe path when cutting the grass. That fire that destroyed several family homes, it's bringing out the best in most neighbors, but it's also sparking the worst behavior in others.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin. INDOT crews and contractors are out working hard in the heat this weekend to improve roads across Marion County. Several major construction projects are underway and it's causing delays for drivers this weekend. Tonight we're hearing from some of those drivers and taking a closer look at the work being done, which will hopefully mean less potholes this winter. If you plan to drive on the interstate in Marion County this weekend, it's likely you'll run into backups like this one due to construction, or you'll need to plan ahead to take a different route altogether.
It's a headache. It's a headache. I mean, I live right down there, and I got to go all the way around just to get to my house.
They've been doing a lot of construction in Indianapolis, so it's making everything difficult for people.
3 major construction projects started Friday, causing full closures along parts of I-65. On I-69 and I-465, lane restrictions are in place as crews are working around the clock to improve our roads.
The potholes, it was just outrageous. I mean, you couldn't go. I lost 2 hubcaps already, you know, just from that. And then I know a lot of people just busted tires.
Just the potholes, the uneven pavement, for the most part, is something that's very much needed.
The construction may be causing headaches now, but the hope is that this fall and winter, drivers will be dealing with less potholes on the road.
We are taking a big swipe at all the Marion County interstates. We're really trying to do this so that our winters are better. You'll see a big difference come this fall and next winter.
I'm just glad they finally get something done about it.
Here's a look at some of the progress that crews are already making. INDOT tweeting out this video showing a new blacktop on I-69 and 96th Street that drivers will get to drive on Monday morning. And right now on the RTV6 News app, we have all the details on the INDOT projects happening across Marion County. This includes a video showing detour routes for the I-65 projects causing full closures. Kyle.
We made it to 90 degrees this afternoon, and it's still on the warm side out there this evening. Check out Muncie. You're still in the 80s, 77 in Indy, and 72 for you right now in Greencastle. The numbers are not going to tumble as much tonight because the humidity is starting to come up. It's close to 70% now. That our wind is out of the southwest between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Storm Team 6 radar, we've had a couple of showers far northern Indiana. Think most of that activity will stay to the north. Can't rule out an isolated shower, though, as we go into tomorrow morning. Most of us going to be dry with warm conditions. Temperatures already back in the 80s by 10 a.m.
Kyle, thank you. A sad story tonight out of Decatur Township. Police say a landscaper is dead after a lawnmower flipped over and trapped him. It happened around 1 o'clock in a neighborhood on Minden Drive, just off of Southport Road. Police say a 45-year-old man was mowing on an incline when the lawnmower tipped over. Police did say the man was not trapped under the blade side, but they have not yet released his name tonight. Another accident involving a lawnmower, this one in Jennings County, where a 2-year-old was seriously injured after being run over by a lawnmower. Investigators say the child was running after his grandfather, who was on the mower. When the grandfather was backing up, the child fell underneath the mower. He was later flown to Riley Hospital. No word yet on his condition. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has a few safety tips for tractors and riding mowers. Drive up and down slopes, not across. Avoid sudden turns. Slow wide turns reduce the chance of tip over. Don't allow children on the mower, and make sure children are both out of the mowing area and supervised by an adult. And before backing up, look down and behind the machine. Children are often attracted to the mower and the mowing activity. A man wanted for shooting a customer during a credit union robbery is now under arrest. Muncie police say Jeremy Snyder is the man seen in surveillance photos from the Prime Trust Financial Credit Union on Wednesday. They believe he shot a customer who tried to intervene. Police had been searching for Snyder since Wednesday, warning the public he was armed and dangerous. Officers arrested him in Indianapolis. Tonight, the cause of a fire that destroyed 5 homes in Tippecanoe County remains under investigation. And as families impacted try to figure out what's next, the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office is sharing a GoFundMe page for anyone who wants to help. The HOA president for the Lindbergh Village neighborhood set up the fund. It's called the Survivors of the Lindbergh Village Fire. Right now, more than $4,000 has been donated. The Sheriff's Office is also warning that some people may take advantage of this unfortunate time and try to scam those willing to donate. They're warning tonight, always do your research before donating any money. Police in Frankfort are looking for a missing woman who may be in Monon, Indiana, or Gary. 32-year-old Chastity Marie Mora was last seen on May 28th in the town of Monon. She is 5'9" and weighs 143 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. If you know where she is, call Frankfort Police. It is now official. Governor Eric Holcomb announcing he is running for re-election for Indiana governor. A crowd gathered in Knightstown this afternoon for the announcement at the iconic Hoosier Gym. Governor Holcomb started things off by saying he is committed to moving Indiana forward for 4 more years. He discussed the economy, job creation, infrastructure, and education. He also took time to address the opioid crisis facing the state and the current infant mortality rate and the progress he says we are making.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Indiana proud. Yes, in part because of our heritage. Yes, in part because of the progress that we've made over the last decade plus. And yes, in part because of where I know together we are going. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I am running for re-election. So I'm asking you, will you join me and Suzanne for 4 more years?
As for the Democrats, business executive and former state health commissioner Woody Myers is their only declared candidate so far. As the crisis over immigration continues, many have been calling for more humane treatment of migrants being held at border detention facilities. And now with ICE raids planned that will target undocumented immigrants, those protests have grown with thousands taking to the streets in cities from Boston to Los Angeles. Here's ABC's Trevor Alt with the details.
In cities across the country, protesters taking to the streets ahead of this weekend's ICE raids.
Watch over those who live in constant fear that those flashing police lights are meant for them.
The president removing any mystery about the timing of the raids.
It starts on Sunday, and they're going to take people out, and they're going to bring them back to their countries.
ICE could target as many as 2,000 migrants on immediate deportation lists. Ahead of those raids, Vice President Pence toured an all-male adult detention center in Texas on Friday, run by border officials.
I couldn't be more impressed with the compassionate work that our Customs and Border Protection are doing here at this facility.
For the first time, our news cameras allowed inside the detention centers to document conditions during the vice president's visit. The men in chain link pens with Mylar blankets to help them stay warm.
We are not a terrorist.
The vice president believing Democratic members of Congress have exaggerated the poor conditions they saw at a different facility.
The time has come to stop the irresponsible rhetoric about the way that people are being cared for and treated who are being detained in our facilities.
But those Democrats standing by what they say they witnessed, some fighting back tears during testimony.
Imagine traveling thousands of miles in grueling and dangerous conditions because you have no other option only to be separated from your family, from your children, thrown into overcrowded cages.
The overcrowding and unsanitary conditions inside the facilities have also been documented by the Inspector General of the President's own Homeland Security Department. Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
Indianapolis native Vivica Fox is in town tonight for a special event that benefits the Moselle Sanders Foundation. We had a chance to catch up with her before the second annual wine tasting event at the Ritz-Charles. The Moselle Sanders Foundation is a nonprofit that has been feeding the hungry in our city for more than 40 years at its annual Thanksgiving giveaway. The Arlington High School graduate says it always feels wonderful to be back home in Indianapolis.
I'm just so blessed that being a celebrity that I can bring awareness to worthy causes. That's what I should do. I should get back. The community has been so supportive of my career for many, many, many years. So the least I can do is to bring awareness to those who are hungry, less fortunate, and give back.
Vivica says she loves wine and thinks this fundraiser is a great event. She also says it's a kickoff to her birthday, which is July 30th, so a happy early birthday goes out to her. Still to come, Hurricane Barry made his presence known, and while he's calmed down a little, he still is a force to be reckoned with. We'll have the latest. And with heat returning in a big way this week, we're asking, are you doing enough to protect yourself and your family? An important reminder for the days ahead. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Small flavors, no small potatoes. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
You know the phrase, bright lights, big city? Well, things haven't been so bright tonight in the Big Apple. Thousands left without power. New York City officials say they hope to have everyone back on the grid by midnight. While the blackout isn't citywide, it's certainly enough to make things inconvenient for a lot of people. ABC's Megan Tevrizian has that story.
I don't think they can make it any darker in here. So hard to see.
Midtown Manhattan and the Upper West Side, two of New York City's busiest neighborhoods without power. More than 40,000 customers in the dark, some stuck in elevators in high-rise buildings. Times Square going silent. Those giant monitors, usually splashed with advertisements and glittering bright lights, black. Traffic lights suddenly not working. Motorists using caution before proceeding through them.
Like no power at 66th Street.
Some of the city's subway stations, normally bright, eerily silent and pitch dark. The trains, fortunately, still running. Even at ABC News, where the news never stops, work ground to a halt. Computers taken offline. Mayor Bill de Blasio on the campaign trail in Iowa, assuring residents.
All of our emergency personnel are being deployed to address the situation. It appears to be a limited power outage, but still affecting a meaningful number of people for sure.
Con Edison reporting a manhole fire that impacted a transmission line was to blame.
And ironically, on this date in 1977, New York City also had a massive blackout. Megan Tevrizian, ABC News, New York. Tonight, 2 Indiana Task Force 1 members are en route to Louisiana as Tropical Storm Barry is zeroing in on Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana tonight. The slow pace of the system is pushing the threat of significant flooding into Sunday and Monday and possibly beyond as residents remain on edge. Thousands of National Guard troops were deployed by Louisiana's governor, and already rescues are underway. But the Coast Guard warns perhaps not for much longer.
It is important for everybody to understand that although we were able to conduct search and rescue operations this morning in advance of landfall, our ability to do so will deteriorate as this storm continues to come ashore.
The storm made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane Saturday afternoon and quickly weakened and will continue to weaken. But the winds were never the primary concern for forecasters. It was the heavy rain and potential for significant flooding. You could be seeing higher gas prices thanks to Tropical Storm Barry. Rising oil prices have been causing the national average price of gas to increase in recent weeks. But experts say the storm could cause some of the country's major gasoline refineries to shut down and drive prices even higher. They say there could also be supply problems. Overwhelming rain could also cause some refinery outages and constrict fuel supplies along the Gulf Coast. Indianapolis is under a low air quality alert thanks to a combination of those high temperatures and humidity. But of course, that is not enough to keep Hoosiers inside. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is reminding us all why we should be taking extra precautions on hot days like today.
It doesn't matter who you are or what you're wearing, an Indiana summer can be downright hot. And as the temperatures reach their highest point over the coming days, it is important to do one simple thing. Stay hydrated.
I make my kids stay hydrated and get in the shade every now and then, take breaks.
In the winter, Hoosiers are told to take the necessary precautions from adding layers to making sure the furnace is ready for the frigid temperatures. But in the summer, bracing for the 90-degree days isn't something every Hoosier prepares for.
Probably not the same way, but I think it's an area to be concerned, definitely in this heat.
Winter has the power to shut down schools, keeping everyone inside. But summer attracts Hoosiers of all ages to come outside, spending hours in the heat, which according to the EPA is the leading weather-related killer in the United States. Colts player Eric Ebron made that message loud and clear for the kids training at his youth football camp.
Hydration is key, man, and you just got to start hydrating the day before, because the day of, your body doesn't really get everything it needs. So, man, hydration is always key, especially as an athlete, you know, to prevent those cramps, those tears, those pulls, and those, you know, soft tissue issues. Hydration is what you need.
Across town, hundreds of bicyclists pedaled their way to the finish line of the Indy Criterium Bike Fest.
Almost there.
Central Indiana isn't under a heat advisory yet, but after spending part of the day riding through the streets and humidity of downtown, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says, don't let that fool you. A stretch of 90-degree days can be deadly.
Stay inside if you can on days like today. Don't overdo it. Obviously, stay hydrated. And check on anybody who you know doesn't have air conditioning.
So now you've heard it from moms, you've heard it from a Colts player, and the mayor of Indianapolis. So now hear it one more time from the guy who's on TV in a suit in 90-degree weather. It is extremely important this week to stay hydrated. In Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Good advice. Thank you, Cameron. Well, Mayor Hogsett says the city is ready to open up cooling centers if the hot temperatures stay for multiple days. He also says do not be afraid to dial 211 if you think someone may need help dealing with the heat, and of course 911 if someone is having a heat-related emergency. Let's get over to Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kyle, it may have been hot, but it was a nice day.
Yeah, we had the 90-degree heat this afternoon. We did not have the humidity. That is what's going to change here over the next couple of days, and that's what's going to make that air quality a little bit lower than where it has been. Right now, our temperatures, they're still warm. 77 in Indy, 81 in Muncie, and Bloomington a little bit cooler in the upper 60s right now. By tomorrow morning, we'll have temperatures upper 60s to around 70 degrees, so that will be where we start the second half of our weekend. And as we take you hour by hour through your Sunday forecast, it's mainly dry. We've got an isolated chance for a shower or thunderstorm as we head through the afternoon, but most of us are going to go through the entire weekend without a drop of rain here, and those temperatures warming a little faster tomorrow. 84 degrees by 11 a.m. We'll see those numbers once again right around 90 degrees, and with that heating of the afternoon, we may see a couple of those pop-up showers and storms. By 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, you can see some of that cloud cover starting to develop, and there's that band of a few of those showers, but most of us are not going to be dealing with any of that. If you do see a downpour, some heavy rainfall, some lightning are going to be possible, but they should fade away fairly quickly with sunset tomorrow evening. Temperature-wise, 91 in Indy. We made it to 90 today, so just a degree or two warmer tomorrow afternoon. The difference is going to be that humidity. 91 for your high in Muncie and 92 in Bloomington. Once we factor in the humidity, here's what it's going to feel like. That heat index, middle of the day tomorrow, 88, not too bad, but as we go through the afternoon and early evening hours, we'll start to get those feels-like numbers into the middle 90s, so it will be a little bit toasty out there. All right, so tomorrow's rain chance only about 20%. That's the same thing on Monday. The better chance for rain, well, that's going to come as we head into the second half of our Tuesday. You notice the rain sitting around St. Louis. That's going to be the remnants of Barry that will be sliding our way. So Tuesday afternoon and evening and into the day on Wednesday, we'll have some rounds of rain, possibly a couple of thunderstorms in there before that system moves on through. And right now, the way it looks, could see about an inch of rain across central Indiana, but anytime you get these tropical systems moving through, a thunderstorm, a downpour can certainly add up to quite a bit more. So we'll watch out for some localized flooding, but certainly we could use a little bit of rain here. 7-day planning forecast, those highs in the 90s through Monday, temporarily cooler on Tuesday and Wednesday before it really heats up heading into next weekend. Highs in the low to mid 90s. 90s.
We saw Cameron in his story drinking that slushie. It's very important to have water during times like this.
You're going to need water, and taking the breaks from that heat the next few days, especially prolonged, is going to take its toll.
Okay, Kyle, thank you. Well, setting the stage for a championship season, Indy 500 winner Simon Pagenaud will be front and center in Toronto tomorrow, and he hopes all roads lead to another victory.
No small flavors, no small potatoes.
Indianapolis 500 winner Simon Pagenaud will start from the pole for the IndyCar race through the streets of Toronto tomorrow. He edged out reigning series champion Scott Dixon for the top starting spot during qualifying today. Dave first spoke with Pagenaud about career goals, positive thoughts, and yoga.
So after a couple of weeks layoff or so, it might have been just the medicine for Simon Pagenaud, rejuvenated perhaps after the Indy 500 win. Did you need a couple of weeks off at all? Or I know it was, you guys were still busy though.
I'm still busy. My life has changed. I'm actually reorganizing myself and my team around me to, manage our time better. It's complicated, but it's a good thing. It's just about reorganizing yourself, and quite frankly, it's such an incredible thing to have won the Indy 500, and you have duties to be an ambassador, and I just had to find a way to do it the best I can, and that's how I live life. But we certainly put a big lap today in qualifying. That is very satisfying, and I'm ready for the second part of the season. It's time to pounce on the table.
I was going to say, now you can pounce on perhaps a championship, because you're still very much third in points, obviously. A lot of races left. This could be another championship year for you.
Absolutely, it is. I have no doubt, and I work by sending positive thoughts in the universe. That's how I work. So I am going to win this championship, and I'm going to be very hard to beat. So this is what we're going to do. We just have to be very focused on ourselves and just do things like we've done today, execute at the end, and just believe in ourselves.
Are you into yoga? Have you found your chi? Is this like namaste or something at the
end? A little bit of that, yeah. I mean, I think if you guys saw what happens in my motorhome, some weird stuff going on there for sure.
Perhaps we'll save that for another show. Congratulations, Simon Pagenaud. Second pole this season, 12th for his career.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, rounding out the top 5 in qualifying today, Scott Dixon at number 2, followed by Felix Rosenquist, Alexander Rossi, and Joseph Newgarden. IndyCar driver Robert Wickens will be back behind the wheel of a car during the race tomorrow, but he won't be in a race car. He will be leading a parade lap, and this is video of Wickens practicing yesterday. He posted this footage to his Twitter page. He will be driving a special Acura NSX that team sponsor Aero has equipped with hand controls. It's the next step in his recovery from that horrible wreck last year at Pocono. If you are looking for something fun to do with the family over the next week, we have 2 words for you: Harry Potter. Over the next 8 days, Newfields will show every Harry Potter movie, 1 movie per day. It's part of Newfields' Summer Nights film series. It kicked off tonight with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and the event was sold out. Organizers say it's proof that Hollywood films are time-honored treasures.
All film is art because it's just someone's perspective and how they view the world, and they're trying to express that to everybody.
The Harry Potter series ends next Saturday, June 20th. As for the schedule, films that are shown Sunday through Thursday are inside at the Toby Theater, and those movies begin at 8. Movies that run Friday and Saturday are shown outside, and they begin at 9:30. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up next.
Back to School Family Day and Chiodas.
Keep Indianapolis Beautiful volunteers cleaned up the Monon Trail today. They call it plogging. It's a new Swedish fitness trend that combines picking up trash while jogging. Our own Todd Clausen took part in the event. And Kyle, today's weather was so nice for an event like this.
Yeah, nice to get out there, enjoy the weather, and help out Mother Nature a little bit. Tomorrow, it's going to be warmer and a little more humid, that high 91, and just a tiny chance for a shower or a storm here as we go into the afternoon. That heat, though, is going to continue to build until those rain chances rise on Tuesday.
All right, Kyle, thank you, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.